You know what's happening. Someone finally realized that you were the best thing that ever happened in their life. The late realization, however, brings no relief. What was lost cannot be recovered. They made choices that pushed them away from you, made promises they didn't keep. Time passed and the decisions they made became irreversible. You are not responsible for this. Your efforts, your intentions, your feelings were not enough to change their reality. This happens. You gave your best, supported, loved, and were present. Now they understand what you meant, but there is no more room for reconciliation. The memories have become echoes of a connection that no longer exists. You feel the pain of loss, but it is necessary to recognize that the continuation of this cycle does not depend on you. The truth is that the bond was sustained by a unilateral effort. They were not willing to see, to listen, to value. Now, they face the consequences of a choice that cannot be undone. Nothing changes because there's no reason to change. They may miss you, but what does that really mean? The structure is clear. The cost is yours. You cannot be the answer for someone who did not value themselves, who did not realize your worth until it was too late. This late recognition is a burden they will have to carry alone. You do not need to carry this. What has passed has passed. There is no room for hope in a reality that has already been presented. Nothing changes without rupture. The continuation depends only on you. The bond that existed was broken. What remains now is the choice to move forward. Listen again. You know that pain is not proof of love. What you feel now is the consequence of a story that did not unfold as expected. Their late recognition does not change the facts. You cannot be the solution to their choices. The interactions you had were filled with attempts at connection. You dedicated yourself to understanding, supporting, being present, but the reciprocity did not exist. The effort was not shared. This is a fact, and you must face it with clarity. The reality is in front of you. She was not ready for the connection you offered. Now, feeling your absence, she tries to fill a void that cannot be filled. This void is the result of her own decisions. You are not responsible for this. The cycle that has been established is a repetition of disappointment. You wait for a return, a change, but that is not going to happen. What she does now is a reflection of her past choices. It is not a plea for reconciliation. It is merely an echo of something that cannot be restored. You tried. You tried to be the support, the voice of reason. But recognition takes time, and when it arrives, it may be too late. This is not a relief. It is a confirmation that what you always wanted was not the same as what she desired, and now this late wish should no longer influence your life. Looking back can be tempting, but nostalgia does not bring solutions. She may have realized she lost something valuable, but that does not change the dynamics between you. What matters is your choice now. You can decide to exit this cycle of pain and expectation. Memories should not be a prison. What you experienced was real, but it was also a learning experience. The past is a record, not an instruction manual for the future. It's time to stop seeking reasons for what happened. The reasons have no power over you. You can continue living in the shadow of a love that did not materialize, or you can choose to set yourself free. This decision is exclusively yours. Life goes on, and you have the ability to forge new paths. What you have allowed so far was a reflection of what you thought you deserved. Her recognition is only a part of the process. Do not be swayed by empty promises. What matters is what you are willing to accept. What is at stake now is your well-being. You should not commit to an uncertain future based on feelings that have already proven to be insufficient. The truth is that the bond that existed was one-dimensional. You gave and did not receive. This asymmetry is unsustainable. It is not a question of love or value. It is a matter of choices. She made hers, and now it is you who must choose. Life does not wait. Each day is a new opportunity to step away from what no longer serves you. You have the chance to build something new. The path may be uncertain, but it is yours. Do not let yourself be tied down by a past that no longer brings value. You are not the answer to her lack of clarity. The responsibility is hers. You have already done what you could. Now, what remains is to look forward. The choice to move on is a liberation. Your peace should not depend on belated recognition. It is time to redefine your boundaries. You no longer need to feel guilty for wanting something that was never reciprocal. The cost of her choices should not be your burden. The continuity of your life should not be conditioned to what might have been. What you felt is real, but it is no longer useful. What matters now is what you will do with it. The future is not a reflection of the past, and you have the power to shape it. It is difficult to let go of what was important, but you know that pain is not a sign of love. It is a sign that you allowed the cycle to repeat. You have the ability to stop this. Life is full of opportunities, and you deserve to take advantage of each one. What was lost cannot be recovered, but that does not mean you cannot find something better. What exists now is a choice. The choice to free yourself and seek what truly brings value to your life. The structure is clear. What you need to do now is simple. Decide. The choice is yours. Free yourself from the weight of a past that no longer serves you. Reality has already been presented. Nothing changes without disruption. What remains is to move forward. Listen again. The choice to break free is not just an act of courage, it is a necessity. You realize that over time, you have allowed yourself to be dragged into a cycle of expectation and disillusionment. Now this perception becomes essential for your evolution. What you have lived through cannot be ignored. Experiences have shaped who you are, but they do not define your future. You are not a hostage to recognition that came too late. This endless wait for something that did not materialize only serves to keep you trapped in an illusion. She may have realized what she lost, but that does not change reality. The words she may have said have no power to reverse the decisions she made. Her recognition is an empty echo, a reminder that what you always wanted was not shared. You no longer need to feel guilty for not meeting expectations that are not yours. What was said and done cannot be undone. You have already dedicated yourself, invested time and energy in a bond that was not reciprocal. This happens. The cycle repeated itself. You have seen this before. The difference now is that you are aware, and this awareness is a watershed. It is not a matter of being strong or weak. It is about being realistic. Reality presents itself stark and bare. What you hoped for did not materialize. What existed was unilateral. You offered support, love, and understanding, but she did not know how or did not want to reciprocate. This is the truth. And now you must decide what to do with this reality. It is easy to get lost in nostalgia, in memories that seem more tangible than the harsh truth. You may want to relive good moments, but that will not change what is before you. What matters is the now. Your peace of mind is at stake. You have the ability to change the course of your life. Each day is a new chance to reassess your choices and priorities. You should no longer wonder if she regrets it. This doubt is irrelevant. The focus should be on you and what you really want. You have already dedicated yourself enough. Now, it's time to prioritize yourself. Life doesn't wait for answers that may never come. The past is a record, not a guide. You must free yourself from the weight of a love that was not reciprocated. The decision to move on is an act of self-love. You have the right to seek connections that add value to your life. Waiting for recognition that never arrived is an unnecessary burden. What you need is clarity. The truth is that you cannot expect another person to change. What you can change is your attitude towards it. The cycle of waiting and expectation must be interrupted. Your life should not be conditioned to feelings that have already proven insufficient. You are not responsible for her lack of clarity. The bond that existed was one-dimensional. It's time to accept that what you offer must be reciprocated. If not, all that remains is the choice to move on. Freedom comes from the decision to walk away from what no longer serves you. You have the ability to create new bonds, to seek new experiences. What was lost cannot be recovered, but that doesn't mean you can't find something better. Don't let yourself be trapped by a past that no longer brings value. Looking back can be tempting, but nostalgia doesn't bring solutions. What you experienced was real, but it was also a learning experience, and that learning should be the foundation for your future choices. You no longer need to feel guilty for wanting something that was not reciprocated. Her belated recognition should no longer influence your life. The responsibility for her choices is hers. You have already done what you could. Now all that's left is to look forward. The choice to move on is a liberation. It's a chance to redefine your boundaries and seek what truly adds value to your life. This is your moment. Each day is a new opportunity. You can choose to break free from the chains of a love that didn't come to fruition. The future is not a reflection of the past. You have the power to shape it, to carve new paths. What you have allowed so far was a reflection of what you thought you deserved. Her recognition is just a part of the process. Don't be swayed by empty promises. What matters is what you are willing to accept. Your peace should not depend on delayed recognition. If you want to live fully, it requires a commitment to yourself. The cost of her choices should not be your burden. It's time to put yourself first. What you felt is real, but it is no longer useful. What matters now is what you will do with it. You have the capacity to break these cycles. Life is full of opportunities, and you deserve to seize each one of them. The choice to move forward is an act of courage. It requires clarity and the willingness to leave behind what no longer serves you. The structure is clear. The reality has already been presented. Now, all that remains is to decide. What you need to do now is simple. Decide. The choice is yours. Free yourself from the weight of a past that no longer serves you. Life goes on, and you have the ability to carve out new paths. You have already realized that waiting can be an unsustainable burden. What you wanted did not come to fruition. The hope you had has turned into an expectation that no longer holds. It's time to face this truth. What you felt cannot be ignored, but it also cannot be the basis of your future decisions. The memories you carry are just that, memories. They don't have the power to shape what is to come. You must ask yourself, what do I really want for my life now? You can choose to step away from this cycle of disillusionment. The attempts at connection that were not reciprocated should not dictate your worth. You are more than the sum of your past experiences. The decision to move forward should be based on what brings satisfaction and growth. The interactions you had were full of effort. You were dedicated, but that is not enough when there is no reciprocity. The reality is clear. You cannot expect someone who did not value what you offered to change their perspective due to a belated recognition. Now, what is more important is what you will do with this perception. The focus should be on you. What do you desire? What will bring peace and satisfaction to your life? These are the questions that should guide your decisions from now on. You should not commit to someone who is not willing to commit to you. The future should not be an extension of an unsatisfactory past. You deserve more than that. The decisions of another person should not define your expectations. It is essential to set clear boundaries. You do not need to be the solution to their lack of clarity. What you need is clarity regarding yourself and what you expect from the relationships around you. What you have allowed until now should not be a reflection of what you deserve. Life continues ahead of you. Each day is a new chance to reevaluate your priorities. You have the power to shape your own destiny. The choices you make from now on should be aimed at what is truly important to you. Nostalgia may be tempting, but it does not bring solutions. You must find a path that brings satisfaction, that is aligned with your true desires. It is a process that requires courage, but that leads to freedom. The responsibility for what did not work is theirs. You have already done what was within your reach. Unkept promises should not be the foundation of your self-esteem. What you have accepted until now should be reevaluated. You are worthy of relationships that bring value and meaning to your life. It's time to step away from bonds that do not offer that. Her late recognition should not be an invitation to return to what was. The continuity of your life should not depend on a love that was not reciprocated. What you felt was real, but now it must be a lesson. This experience does not define who you are, but it can shape who you will become. You need to put yourself first. What is important to you? What brings joy and satisfaction? These are the questions that should guide your choices. What was lost cannot be recovered, but that does not mean you cannot find something better. Clarity is a necessity. You must free yourself from the weight of unrequited love. Life is full of opportunities, and each one is a chance to start over. You should not feel guilty for wanting a future that brings value to your life. Her recognition should no longer influence your actions. What you need is a commitment to yourself. The responsibility for your choices is yours. You have already done what you could, and now you must look forward. Relationships should be an exchange, and this symmetry is essential. If there is no reciprocity, it's time to reassess. You cannot expect someone who did not value what you offered to change their stance. What matters now is what you are willing to accept. Freedom comes from the decision to walk away from what no longer serves you. You have the capability to create new bonds and seek new experiences. What was lost should not be a burden. It's time to redefine your boundaries. You no longer need to feel guilty for desiring something that was not reciprocated. The cost of her choices should not be your burden. The continuity of your life should be conditioned to what you truly desire. You can choose to live fully. The future is not a reflection of the past, and you have the power to shape it. It's time to break free from the chains of a love that did not materialize. You deserve to live a life that brings value. Each day is a new opportunity to pursue what truly matters. Choosing to move forward is your act of self-love. The reality has already been presented. Now all that remains is to decide. Before you leave, do two things now. Take a deep breath and hold on to what touched your heart today. And if it makes sense, share this story with someone who also needs to hear this.